So, um, so the topic today is Rise for Life Sciences Industry, and there are some very special innovations at Rise that makes it perfect for life sciences. We have customers that are using Rise for many different applications. That is drug discovery, pre-surgery and planning, braces, casts and prosthetics. Likewise, um, likewise for dental thermoforming and teaching tools. These are all the different applications of RISE for good reasons, and we will cover those today. Um, so just a quick introduction about RISE to you. We are founded in 2014. We are actually shipping product in the last year with many marquee customers using RISE. That's Merck, CONMED, the U.S. Army, Department of Defense, Navy inside the submarines, PSMI, New Hudson Facades, NASA, Thermofab, HMS Industries with some fantastic ROI. We have innovations that are specific to RISE, and I will talk about those as well. And it's a hybrid printer. In other words, it does augmented polymer deposition, and I will explain those as well. We have been steadily getting many industry awards over the last year and a half, and obviously many industry press and reviews as well. So one of the things is we have one of the premier healthcare life sciences magazines called Excendia. They wrote a brief regarding RISE. And some of the key topics that I want to talk about is that Excendia talks about the fact that 3D printing is having major impact in life sciences, industry and pharma companies, and obviously all life sciences industry and pharma companies need to meet complex regulations, whether it is FDA in US, regulations in Europe and such. They identified applications in the areas of surgery, healthcare, pharmaceutical, personalized medicine devices and diagnostics. And also 3D printing enables end product visualization. A lot of times, the best way to communicate is to have a physical object in hand, whether you are communicating to manufacturing or internal discussions and coming up with the final designs. And 3D printing really enables a very robust collaboration and visualization of the designs that are being done. Likewise, according to Excendia, they talk about the fact that it helps improve quality and manufactured precision, enabling quicker outcomes and results. And we are seeing all four of these with customers in the life sciences industry of RISE. Now, why RISE? And this is what the Excendia talks about in the brief, and I will show you that in just a bit. The first thing, RISE is a zero VOC print system. In other words, the innovations on the 3D printer and the innovations on the material, you have zero VOCs coming out of the additive manufacturing process when you use RISE. It doesn't matter if it is nylon or if it is polypropylene. There are harmful gases that come out, albeit they are small and you don't see them. With RISE, it's total zero VOC. It's a clean process, clean materials, and safe for medical applications. And I want to be precise here. RISE is made up, it's compounded here at our Rize is a material name. It is actually compounded by us with quality control by RISE Corporation. And all the components, all the ingredients that make up Rize have been USP Class 6 certified. So we haven't certified Rize as such. In other words, it hasn't been certified for USP Class 6. If a customer is interested, we could collaborate with them to get it done. But each and every component and all the ingredients that make up Rize are USP Class 6 certified. Also, the other thing that Excendia Life Sciences talks about is we have a patented augmented polymer deposition system where on each and every part, you can actually put QR codes that go at the voxel level, as well as part numbers, and it is key to traceability and control of process parameters. And obviously, they say it's required to meet FDA 21 CFR 820.30 design control requirements. So if you want to satisfy all the control requirements of traceability with Rize, on every part you print, you can actually put the QR codes and part numbers. They are done at the voxel level. In other words, the marking goes deep into the part, so it can't be scratched off or anything like that, and it's fully traceable. The other reason why some medical companies use Rize is because it has very low water absorption. In other words, it's very minimal material management. Once you get Rizium material in a box, you can keep it away, and when you put it into the printer, even after 6 months, 1 year, it's just fine, and it has very low water absorption, and it is suited for medical applications. It also has what is called low surface energy, and you see the example of this part right there. It's a mold where you see some very soft material molded around this blue part, and it's done inside this mold. And after it is done, you can just simply pull it out. You don't need mold release agents or anything like that. Also, it has high chemical resistance as well, and I will talk about that. So if you are using this for, testing different kinds of compounds of medicine and such as nozzles for mixing, you can use Rizium material and Rize printers to make it happen. Rize has this unique marking capability, and this is what I was talking about. You see here it says A.H.12/1/2017, so this was done in December 1st, you can tell. And the way it's done is, as the part is being printed, we jet functional inks, and the ink goes deep into the part. So because of that, it has the marking capability. If I can request you to mute your phone, please. There is a background noise coming, and obviously you can unmute when you have questions, so there's no disturbance to others. So with this marking capability, it meets the FDA's document, describe, and identify requirements to satisfy QS regulation and pre-market submission requirements as well. And finally, the FDA guidelines for additive manufacturing talks about geometric integrity. And they specifically talk about supports removal, because when you remove supports and you actually introduce surface marks or residues, you can impact the safety and effectiveness of the product, especially when you are printing at very high tolerances and you want mixing of things at very, very high concentrations, and you want to make sure these things are done right. So the way Rize works and the way we do it is that we have a release agent that goes between the support and the 3D printed part. So once the printing is done, you just peel the supports away. It doesn't leave any surface residues or surface marks, keeping geometric integrity. These are all the things actually FDA in their additive manufacturing guidelines says are important to satisfy regulations, satisfy design control requirements, as well as geometric integrity. And for these reasons, we believe Rize is a perfect printer to do functional prototyping or end-use parts using the product. So what is the technology that enables this to happen? It's a innovative patented hybrid technology where you see at the bottom you have a support that's extruded, and in between the support and the part we actually release what is called a release ink. And because of this release ink, when the part is printed, you can very quickly peel things away. And then also we have what is this marking ink, where at the voxel level we can put the marking inks, and from there actually create the part. So we can actually do both the support release inks to remove support and marking it to put like this, what you see here, MR pound 249-84321 right on the part. And that is something you will do to satisfy FDA requirements. So Rize for Life Sciences, very simple post-processing. In fact, customers and our resellers tell us with Rize, you have the fastest to manufactured part in your hand. We call it one touch. So it's very simply, you can take your designs, the supports are automatically created, and then you go to print. And once the print is done, very quickly you can remove the supports. So you have the geometric integrity with simple post-processing. You have full traceability with the QR codes. And what this QR code allows you to do, and I'll show you a video, is to do many different things. You can put assembly instructions. You can actually give metadata from your PLM, PDM systems and ERP systems that when you scan it, it actually tells you what part is this, which model, what is it related to, any number of things. Also, Rize has this very special properties because it is homogeneous, and the way the print happens, you get best-in-class Z strength, almost 2 times the strength as ABS in the Z direction as you print. So you get the form, fit, and function with Rize material and Rize. It also has zero VOC and zero chemicals. It's very safe operation. We believe that Rize is the only true desktop 3D printing where you get full zero VOCs. In other words, it satisfies the clean process requirements. So going forward, I just want you to see the way this works is you get the part out of the printer. There's your QR code. I hope the video is coming across well. You take the QR code, you can sign in, and what you can see is if whatever system you have, here in this case, it tells the patient name, the medical record, the date it's printed, the operator, and all that stuff. So basically, you get all the metadata with this QR code for full traceability of identify, describe, and to meet the FDA requirements. Okay, so how about Rize, and what is it? It's a high-end engineering compound. The ingredients that make up Rize are safe for skin and food contact. And I repeat, the Rize itself, it has not been USP Class 6 certified. We can obviously work with you to make it happen, but the ingredients are there. Many companies tell us it's people safe, and that's where they use it. It's all-weather usage and stable parts. It has negligible moisture absorption intake, less than 0.01% versus 1% for ABS. What does this mean? It means that if you have printed some parts and you are testing it in humid environments or even regular environments, and you're testing it over a period of 6 months, the part that you print inside Rize actually keeps its true function. It doesn't expand because of moisture intake or anything like that. 0.01% is very, very low. And this is why US Navy is very interested in our product and the material property itself. It has very low thermal expansion coefficient. So you print it at room temperature, it goes into lower temperatures or higher temperatures, very low expansion. You see some other properties with respect to dielectric background, dielectric constant, and specific gravity. And these are all good properties for medical applications and many other applications. And this is why Rize and Rize printer is used for medical industry. So you see the material properties. We talked about USP Class 6. There is an asterisk next to it, and the asterisk is the ingredients certified. It is chemically resistant. It has low leaching and non-contaminating properties. The residual properties and metals contact is very, very low, less than 0.02 parts per million. Very low surface energy that allows you to pull molds and things out easily out of a mold. The way to sterilize this is with gamma and cold sterilization. You cannot use high temperatures. Obviously, this is plastic. It won't survive many cycles with autoclave and such. But the way to sterilize this is with gamma and cold sterilization processes. VOC emissions are none. Whereas you see this with ABS or PLA or Ultem or PCISO or PEEK or SLA or SLS nylon, they all have VOCs. So this has zero VOCs, so it can go into clean environment and stay there to get the job done. The interlayer strength, megapascals, this is the strength between the layers. You can see it as best in class compared to the others. Water absorption, we talked about it. You can actually create elastomeric molds with Rize and Rize 1. You have full security and traceability. You have full easy support removal with peel away, and this becomes very important as well. As you can see with ABS, sometimes you need detergent baths that take 6 to 10 hours, whereas with Rizium 1, in less than 2-3 minutes, you'll be able to peel away all the supports and start using the parts. With PLA, it's a breakaway. With Altem, again, it's a detergent bath. With PCISO, it's a breakaway. So you see all the different support removal processes that need to be done. And this is what we mean by fastest time to fabricated part. Once you have a design with very few clicks, you can get your part in hand, remove the supports, and you're ready to go. Complex geometries, obviously. We also believe it's one of the lowest cost of ownership, both in terms of materials and the time it takes from design all the way to part in hand. And obviously, the color is in white. We also have it in black, except in black, the marking chip is not very well seen. So if you need to do designs for FDA compliance, for traceability, obviously you need to do it in white with QR codes and all that good stuff. So here's an example of a customer of Rize, ConMed. The reason they purchased the product is surface quality, ease of post-processing, part strength, markup for versioning, and you see the versioning that they have done there. The applications they are using is for preclinical and clinical applications. They have a centralized model shop and R&D test lab supporting 60 engineers. They are creating concept and functional prototypes, molds for pouring silicon and low temperature plastic. It's expanding to end-use replacement parts as well, handles and other parts of assemblies and tooling. So you can see this evolution where a company gets Rize 1 and the Rizium material. They start with one application. They find it extremely easy to use and scale it to many other applications internally in the company. It is a workhorse. We have many companies that are running Rize 24/7. It's an industrial 3D printer. It's designed to run 3 to 5 years in your applications. They are actually diverting jobs from PolyJet printer to Rize. In fact, this is a consistent theme with all our customers. They have other 3D printers. They stop using those printers and come to Rize because of the industrial nature, ease of support removals, the quality of the parts that come out of it, and the robustness of the printer and the material and the properties. They're actually, decentralized printing across 5 plants and strategically use Rize at every step of the value chain to streamline R&D process, accelerate innovation, accelerate idea testing, better collaboration, and such. You can imagine creating a Rize part with drawings, with key dimensions highlighted with marking, and sent to manufacturing. So there is zero loss of communication between the engineering team and the manufacturing team. Likewise, with QR codes connecting to a PLM, ERP systems. Likewise, part numbering. So sometimes in medical industry, I have seen different iterations are subtle changes. And visually, you can't tell what changed. The nozzle angle probably changed 2 degrees or 1 degree. There's a fillet when there was no fillet before. How do you take a prototype and identify it in functional prototyping? The only way to do that is to mark it up. The only way to do it is to put some QR codes that tie in with your part management system and all that good stuff. And this is the story of ConMed using a global medical device manufacturer using Rize 1 and the Rizium material. So where are we seeing success with Rize today? In biomedical solutions, I talked about the clean materials. I don't want to repeat it. We are seeing a lot of customers use it for manufacturing, for end-use parts, functional prototyping, and custom tooling. In defense and aerospace and design collaboration, using the QR codes, it's a fantastic way to collaborate between teams for design reviews, traceability, as well as IP protection. The QR codes and the marking, you can't scratch it off. You have to destroy the part because the inks and everything are deep into the part. So you can be sure that your IP can be safeguarded with information that goes on this particular part. So what are some customers telling us? And we have some very, very interesting stories from PSMI to others. So PSMI is a very interesting case. They manufacture tool grips for many companies in the world. That includes General Motors, John Deere, many medical companies as well. And tool grips are indirect supply materials. These are materials that doesn't go into a part like tooling and all that things. And what they have seen, if you have a factory floor, things break all the time. And you can't stock all the parts in your tool grips. So what they are doing now is with Rize, they are putting Rize in tool grips in many companies, and they're actually printing parts. If something breaks, and turn it around within hours and keep the production floor going. And in fact, they trademark something called TOMO, which is take one, make one, like just in time. And the other thing that's a huge advantage to this is if you have parts in inventory, every part that's in inventory costs between $10,000 and $20,000 to manage. And with this digital tool cribs, you don't need to have all that inventory and physically manage it, potentially saving tens of thousands of dollars inside companies. HMS Industries, you see this? Mr. Barry Aikens says they were up and running in less than 20 minutes after getting the printer. Something that takes 3 days to 3 weeks and $1,000 per part takes 1 day at $40 per part right now. Global life sciences company, senior engineers, you see the keywords: easy, reliable, any complexity or tech support. This is true. We have customers that's been running for many months now, and not a single printer has been returned to Rize. And the average support cost by our last metric was less than $40 per printer for all these months in the field today. It's super easy to place and print a part, zero post-processing capabilities. You see that, faster to get to final part. They use Rize One very frequently every day. New Hits and Facades, this is an amazing story. Their return of investment of Rize is 2.5 months. They are saving $50,000 per printer every quarter. Their assembly speed up has gone up because of the fixtures and everything they have created in Rize with very high tolerances. And they are inspecting 4 to 5x more parts than before, which means the end quality of the parts that are going are very, very high. Here's another case of life sciences company. They are using 1 to 2 spools of material a week. When one job is finished, there was another job already waiting in queue. Not the case with the other machines. And they talk about 3D printing and injection molded quality part, because more than any other printer in the market, the bonding between layers of this print is very high. It's obviously not going to match isotropy, but it's better than any other printer or materials in the marketplace. Net, here's what it means to PSMI: 35x faster and 24x cheaper to print in Rize. HMS tells us 21x faster and 25x cheaper. This is compared to the old processes. A consumer products company that has another 3D printer in-house, they tell us they are doing it 2x faster and 2x cheaper with Rize. New Hits and Facades, 24/7 utilization, while other 3D printers sit idle. Life sciences, they are using again 24/5 utilization, 2 spools per week. And a consumer products company is telling us 50% saving on materials, 3x faster and safe. These are customer numbers. These case studies are there. If you want to look more, need more information, please let us know. So why Rize? We believe we are redefining or defining desktop industrial 3D printing for additive manufacturing. There is a whole change in how things are being manufactured compared to subtractive manufacturing or with molds. Now we see more and more a combination of additive manufacturing plus subtractive plus molds to create parts. And obviously, additive manufacturing works very well for low volume, high mix kind of situations. And the threshold for low volume keeps changing. Now customers are telling us it's around between 50 and 100,000 parts is low volume when you have a cluster of 3D printers printing parts every day, every minute. One touch because of simplicity, speed, and safety. We believe this is truly the only additive desktop manufacturing printer because of zero VOCs and ease of use. It mimics injection molded parts, strength in all axes, except in the Z direction, it has best-in-class strength. Obviously, you can never get to the injection molded quality on the Z, but it's very high because of our printing process and a thermally controlled chamber. Diversity of all applications and operating in all weather conditions because of the printer as well as the material. And it has multi-material capabilities within single technology. It's digitally connected to Industry 4.0, and obviously we are developing partnership with key Industry 4.0 players. So that's what I wanted to share with you. I also want to show you the Excendia Life white paper. This is the brief that they have written. Please let Julie know, and she will send this thing to you. See, FDA has issued a guidance. So let me click on this. This is the technical considerations for additive manufacturing medical devices, guidance for industry and food and administration, drug administration staff. This was issued on December 5th, 2017. It's a very detailed article that talks about design and manufacturing process considerations, material controls, post-processing, process validation, and acceptance activities, quality data, device testing considerations, biocompatibility, and the whole bit. And if you get this article, please take a look. It's very informative data there. Let's go back to the life sciences brief here. And they actually, my apologies, I'm going to scroll this, so bear with me. So they talk about Rize unique 3D printing capabilities around part strength, ink marking capability, geometric integrity, time and cost savings, safety considerations, and the same CONMED that I talked about, and there's a summary. Take a look at this brief from Excendia, as well as you have links to the FDA guidance. So in case you want to take a look at it, and we go from there. So that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you today. The benefits of Rize, Rizium as a material for life sciences industries. And if you have any questions, you can unmute and ask or type the questions, and we go from there. Okay. Looks like we have no further questions so far. And what I will request is Julie Rize, who is our VP of Marketing, to send a follow-up email. I will actually save this PowerPoint slide deck as PDF for your view, as well as we will share with you the Excendia white brief for you to take a look at. And obviously, we are here to answer any further questions that may come along, and we go from there. Thanks for taking the time, and I look forward to meeting to you soon or talking to you in person. Have a wonderful evening.